Let's get more on all the moves with the former Scotland captain, Sky's newest signing, Rachel Coarsie. I was going to say, how's retirement, but we've given you a job already.
You have. I couldn't sit still for very long, could I?
There you go. It's good to see you. Let's talk about Grace Clinton first, shall we? Can you understand why she is such a big target for Manchester City?
I think it's a very interesting move. I think she's a fantastic player. I think she's somebody who's gone out. She obviously went on loan at Spurs. She played in every one of those games that season in the league, apart from obviously the two games against her loan, our parent club. So I feel she's become a very established player. She's somebody who's not quite broken into the starting 11 in the England team, but you'd certainly expect that's her ambition for the coming few years. And I think it's up to her how much of a key player she wants to become for ultimately Manchester City now, and just in terms of her legacy in the WSL and as an England star. But she certainly has some fantastic attributes. I think it's a loss for Manchester United. I know they were reluctant to let her go, but a very interesting one just in the sense of the rivalry between those two clubs and the history that comes with that.
Yeah, just on the point about the rivalry then, do you think it's something that City would have preferred to avoid, potentially losing Jess Park as part of it all?
I think probably, that's one of those situations whereby Jess Park herself has potentially looked at, the squad, looked at the potential opportunities she might have on a personal level. And I think it's something that she maybe feels she has to take this as an opportunity for her. It's maybe something she thinks might impact her minutes. And she maybe feels, I think there's probably an element of Manchester United don't have huge depth in their midfield. I think it'd be difficult for her to break in and become a starter. I think she's capable of doing that, but I do think it'll be difficult. But I think she probably realises that maybe change in management, she feels it's a move she has to make if she wants to continue to be a starting player, which again for her will be something she'll understand as a requirement if she wants to continue with her own ambitions internationally as well.
We were talking about Chelsea a few moments ago and just the strength in the squad already. What do you think Alyssa Thompson is going to give them?
I was a little bit surprised by this one as well. But that's probably just because on the outside, you feel when you look at that Chelsea squad, they have a lot of, for me, they have a lot of depth in the attacking department. She's someone who's a young player. I think potentially it's a move that Emma Hayes has, I'm sure, spoken to her about in terms of their time they've spent in the US national team and conversations I'm sure she's engaged with Emma in terms of what to expect by going to Chelsea. We've not seen a lot of movement from Chelsea, and I think that's because ultimately they're looking to sign players that they feel can actually make an impact to a team that is essentially full of stars. And, to walk into that team or to be able to be considered even a contender to compete for it is really difficult. She certainly has very high expectations. She's someone who I personally haven't watched a lot of live, and always think I like to reserve judgment until I see players myself, but she comes with a great reputation. A lot of people over in the US, a lot of former teammates I've played with speak incredibly highly of her. Clearly very talented, has played a number of games for the US as well at a very young age, and a squad in its own right that's difficult to break into. So an interesting one I probably didn't foresee happening, but if they do get that over the line, I think it just bolsters that already very impressive attacking lineup for Chelsea.
Let's talk about London City Lionesses. I just said to Anton, our reporter, when he was on with us a few moments or so ago, it feels a theme that the team that comes up are always battling a little bit towards the bottom. But Grace Kiora looks like she might come in today. They're giving themselves the best possible chance of staying up, aren't they?
More than. I would anticipate the expectation for them will be to get as close to the top six, certainly. I think one of the biggest challenges they're going to have is the turnover. It's very difficult to piece together a team. I think it's 14 signings at the moment they've made. It's difficult to piece together a team and have it have that immediate success. But for me, Gioro, potentially, if they can get that over the line, would almost be signing of the summer, because there was also conversations around would she maybe go to Chelsea. That's the level. Someone we're talking about being considered going to one of the best teams in the league. I think she obviously has spent a long time at PSG. She's won a lot there. She's obviously over 100 caps for France. So she's the sort of player that I would say is, an enormous signing. I think Van de Donk's been good too. They've made some more steady signings that I think offer a little more stability in the sense of, like to Katie Zellum, Alana Kennedy, Nikita Paris, they for me will be expected to offer that stability. That will mean, the expectation is they understand the league, and the expectation is that they can move as high up as quickly as possible. We have seen teams being promoted struggle. I think there's a very different expectation this time out on London City.
We touched on it at the top, but your own retirement, I was going to say, are you missing him? And that old knee, bless it, was hanging on by a thread at the end, wasn't it? But are you missing any part of being a footballer at all?
I think a lot of people say they miss the dressing room. It's not that I don't miss that. I probably do literally just. I always loved training and playing. I used to sort of get a little bit of stick for that no one ever was happier than me when I was allowed to actually play football. I was a little bit of a geek like that. But so far, I'm very much enjoying it. And it's really nice that I can still be a part of it by getting to cover so much of the action. So I'm very much looking forward to the season starting.